everybody, Sean Adams here. Welcome to this month's online Hangout for Infusionsoft users. This is every first Wednesday of the month we come in here. We do a live Hangout, so no matter where you are in the world or if you're in your office or whatever, you can come join us. You can come hang out. We're going to talk about stuff. If there's things that you want to cover, if there's questions you have, if there's things that you want to know more about Infusionsoft, even if you're not a user, you can still come in, learn what the platform is all about. We'll be happy to show you a little bit about it. So I'm Sean Adams. I'm a certified partner with Infusionsoft, and I'm the one who leads these groups. I don't have all the answers, but usually I can help find them if we need them. This is the user group meeting. We're glad that you're here, and I am looking forward to working with all of you guys. There's my website in case people want to know. And I am here just to see what I can do to make life easier on you guys. If nobody comes into the Hangout, then I will just do a quick little training today, and then we will move on. If we have people come into the Hangout, we'll just do a question and answer for as long as we need to tonight. So before we go into what I want to talk about, I'm going to go ahead and share the screen just so people know, people who are seeing this. This is what the page looks like that you should be on. It's the Infusionsoft User Group Hangout. Every first Wednesday, this is where we're going to be. All you have to do is hit this video is where you hit play. You can watch the recording and all of that. I'm going to chop out the chunk at the beginning of this after the Hangout's done just to edit it and make life easier. Here's where you'll always be able to join the Hangout for live. This box over here is where you can leave your questions and comments. Even if we're not live in a Hangout, even if it's anytime during the month, feel free to come in here and leave a comment. I can come in, check that, do some research, try to make it so life's easier on you guys. And then download the Lifecycle Marketing Planner, get access. That should have another S, so that's pretty funny. I will fix that in a minute. But this is the idea that you guys can come in and talk about any questions you have. We'll go through. We can show live inside dashboards, show what's going on, make life easier for everybody. This is the plan. This is how it's going to work. I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing the screen just so I can go fix that one typo that I just noticed, because that's what we do here. We make sure that typos get fixed and make things clean and clear for everybody. And this is how it works. Not everything is always perfect. We make adjustments, and this is why we do these Hangouts, because there's always ways that things can be done better, or mistakes can be found, or just generally we can improve everything we're working on. But now you may be on the page later after this Hangout, and you're going to realize that it's fine. The spelling's fine because I just fixed it, so that's great. What I want to talk about today is this. It's the Lifecycle Marketing Planner from Infusionsoft. It's fantastic. If you haven't really looked into this, even if you're a user and you haven't done this for your business, you need to. This is what's going to help you be successful in your business. This is what's going to make sure that you're clear exactly what's happening on the business. You know where you are. You know what's going on. So there's some stuff in here. You can see the table of contents. I just want to talk about this page here to start. I'm going to go ahead and zoom in a little bit so we can talk about it in chunks. Let me go ahead, and I realized that I wasn't sharing my screen for that, so we will do it now. There we go. So here's what I was talking about. This is the document that you can download below. It's the Lifecycle Marketing Planner from Infusionsoft. And these are the three major sections of the customer lifecycle. You have to attract them, you have to sell to them, and then you want to wow them. In each of those areas, there's specifics. Like in attracting, you need to know who your target audience is. You have to know what their interests are, get their attention, make sure that they want to find out what you have to offer, and collect the leads. How are you getting their contact information? Once you have their information, are you educating them about you and what's fantastic and why you are the right fit for them, possibly solving the pain that they have? Do you have an offer that is what they want and need? And then once that offer is given, are you closing that offer with them? After that, you want to make sure you deliver exactly what you said you're going to deliver, and you want to go above and beyond. So you want to wow them. You want to then, after they've found out that you're fantastic at what you do, this is where you're going to offer them something else, that upsell concept. And you can also turn all of these people who love you into your raving fans so that you get more referrals. So the first step, of course, is identifying the target market. I'm not going to go through all these questions today. I just want you to see what's available to you. And there's a lot of little exercises you can do in here to make it easier. Next is attracting more customers to your business. Once again, where are you hanging out? Where are these people, these ideal people? Are you turning opportunities into what you need? Do you have a good lead magnet? Here's some great ways to brainstorm those. And then are you collecting the information? This is a lot of information you could collect. There's a lot of ways to collect information, but the ones that you need to know are name and email for sure. After that, you need to educate them on who you are, why you're awesome, why they want to go along with you, and do that. Then you make the offer, the irresistible offer, the thing that they absolutely need, the thing that solves the pain that you know they have, and you offer that so it works out really well. They're happy about that. And then also after you've made the offer, you want to wow them and you close them on it, because that's the next place, is closing it. Not only do you want to make sure they get the offer, you want to make sure they actually take the action on it. So are they actually buying? There's great little campaigns you can do about what happened. Let's say they clicked on your sales page, but they did not actually buy. If you have it set up so they have to opt in to get to the sales page, you can do this little, hey, what happened? Like, you came, you looked at it, you knew exactly what you're getting into, but you didn't actually complete the transaction. What's going on? Was it too expensive? Like, find out what's going on with them and keep nudging them so they buy. You can create a culture of wow. You want to make sure you over deliver, make sure you're doing amazing things, going above and beyond what your competitors might do, so that you are truly wowing folks and making them feel special. You want to grow the value each customer. Value isn't always financial, but there are a lot of financial things, either offering new products, or upselling them to a higher level of what you currently offer, or offering them something different, but that's still related. Those are the ideas. This helps you kind of figure that out. And then grow sales with referrals. This is where you turn them into your raving fans, and they do the recruiting for you. And so then they walk you through, here's 50 cost-effective ways to wow your customers. Very simple, very easy. And then you want to make sure you're taking some notes on that. And then here's the way to get started. Checkbox. Look through all of the things about attracting. How many of them are you doing? For selling, how many are you doing? And wowing, how many are you doing? So you want to make sure that you've got all of these answers written out. You're clear. You have clarity on this. And then you build that campaigns that coincide with it. It's that simple. It works really well. If you have not looked at this and you have not gone through this exercise, you are going to regret it, because this is what works. It works no matter what your small business is. This is why it is in this format. No matter what your business is, this format works. So you need to look at it, go through this whole workbook, make sure that you understand. So make sure you go to this page and download the Lifecycle Marketing Planner here. It's going to make life easy for you. It's going to work really well. That's about all I wanted to cover for today. Since we don't have anybody watching the Hangout, we don't have anybody in the Hangout, we don't have anybody with any questions. I'm going to check one more time, but I haven't seen any questions posted. I'm going to wrap this up in about 3 minutes. I know it's really quick and early, but I'm not going to lie. My Cubs are playing right now, and as a Cubs fan, to see them in the playoffs is very rare. So if we don't have any engagement happening I'm happy to watch the replay or follow it later. If I need to, if there's people who have questions, if there's people who want to get involved, but this is your chance. Jump in, leave your comments, leave your questions, make sure you get involved quickly, because I'm going to be jumping out of here in about 2 minutes at the most. So make sure that if you've got a question, you're going to jump in, you're ready to go. The idea here is that we want to get you excited. We want to get you to really have clarity on you, who you are, what it is that your business does, so that you can be great and successful. And then look, I've got somebody in the Hangout. Yay! Hello, Dr. Minkle.
Hey, Sean.
How are you doing?
I'm doing.
Good. Welcome. Glad to have you here. I don't know. Did you just log in, or did you kind of catch my first little blurb?
No, I did not. I just logged in. I am tardy.
No, that's fine. You're the only one in at the moment. What I did was went through the customer lifecycle marketing planner. It's a great PDF that Infusionsoft has put out, and you can access it from like on the page at the bottom by clicking that button. But I just kind of went through it so everybody knows it's kind of what you and I have been doing. How are we attracting the clients? What are we selling them? What kind of upsells are we doing? How are we going to turn them into referrals for you in the long run? Those kind of pieces. So it's piecing all that together. We've done a lot of that with your stuff, but I just kind of went over it with everybody, so if they haven't been thinking in that mindset, they need to be.
Got it. Okay.
And so for right now, I don't have anything super formal that I'm doing any education on today. I didn't have anything planned. I was going to make it a Q&A day. So if you're okay with it being shown on the Hangout, do you want me to kind of show you the campaign I put together for you?
Yes, that would be more. I'd be more than fine with that. I also wanted to tell you that I set up another lead digit, and I wanted to have you look at it and see if I interfaced it properly, because I had a couple of issues with that, about the thank you note that automatically got created through the Infusionsoft end of it, and I thought maybe there was some duplication that could be streamlined.
Okay, let me go ahead and let me get logged in as you into lead pages.
Okay.
Or logged into your lead pages. I don't usually have it saved because, you know, I usually am working my own. So if everybody will just hold on a second, I'm just logging in to the account really quick. All right, so it's, and I'm intentionally not showing this on my screen because nobody needs to know your passwords.
I'm sure it'd be easy to figure out.
Oh, you got a good, actually, you have a pretty good password. I don't think people would get that one. But let's see. All right, looks like lead pages is loading up. And just so people know, lead pages is not a part of Infusionsoft. It is, in case there's somebody watching this, I'm kind of explaining stuff as we go. But it's not a part of Infusionsoft, but it is something that integrates with Infusionsoft, and it's a great way to make landing pages. In full transparency, the Hangout page that you guys are all on watching this right now is a lead page. I did not program this page. It was a page that lead pages did, and I just took their platform. Just so everybody knows, I like to be transparent when I'm doing stuff. So let me just kind of talk about, so this is what I mean. This is a lead page. I did not build this. I made it very simple. But I'm going to go into the, Dr. Meekel's lead pages here. And you can see one of the options, because he has a pro membership, is lead digits. It's a way of doing text collection. Somebody can text senior finance to 33444. And what happens is it will then trigger, it goes through and collects their email. And what happens is he will get notified someone's opted in. It'll add the customer email to the mailing list, and it'll deliver the lead magnet to customer's email. So I'll click on here. If I customize lead magnet, I can see that he's sending an email from his name, from his email, with the subject. It says, "I'm excited to be sending you this resource," and then the attachment. This is what they're going to be able to download: is the 6 ways to regulate at bay, blah blah blah. And so this is all set properly. You've got this set up. The issue is that the adding it into your CRM and kicking off this nurture sequence isn't quite finished yet within lead digits. That's the reason why I would add, just click below to dive in. I would add something along the lines of, and if you would like to get regular information about how to help your aging investor, click here. And I would make this a link to where they opt in for nurture.
Okay.
Because until lead digits gets this kind of finalized, where they're able to actually then kind of automatically kick them into a campaign, you want to make sure that you're giving them that option secondarily here.
Okay.
So you're going to want to make that edit. I'm going to save this. I just don't have the URL for that lead page. But you can copy it and paste it in here and just turn that into a link.
Yeah, but you're talking about that link would be the link that would go to the Infusionsoft, and it would be the web form.
Right. So I'll walk through it. So you'd go to your lead pages because you have a lead page for this.
Right.
And I don't even remember where it is, but I thought you had a lead page for people to come into nurture. Maybe you don't. Oh yeah, AI nurture. Here we go. So what you would do is copy this URL here. Copy link address. And then I'm going to go back to lead digits. Back to your senior finance. Back to editing the lead magnet. And then I would take this click here and I would turn it into a link to go there. And I always like my links to open up in a new window. You hit OK. And now you see there's a live link there that they click to get themselves to opt into your nurture sequence manually.
Got it.
So that's done. That way they're also opting into it instead of being forced into it, which is also good practice. Okay. Eventually they're going to have it set up that it'll kick them directly into the campaign that you assign them into. But they're finalizing the technology on that right now.
Oh, so that doesn't work right now, you're saying?
Yeah, that's why I said it was beta. That's why we have to put in that hyperlink into the initial email they get.
Ah, okay. I'm gonna have to do that with all of them. Okay.
And I did that. I did do that for the aging investors, an aging investor, and Get CEU. I took care of these three.
Okay.
For that live event you had last week. So they have those links in there. So that was manually done for you.
Okay. All right. So I needed a way to be able to more generically have a lead digit that could put people into that AI nurture sequence.
And this will do it. You're giving them something of value, which is why they would opt in. And then you're also giving them the opportunity to learn more, which is what you want.
Got it. So how do I turn off the thank you that is automatically then coming out of the Infusionsoft?
It's not going to get triggered, so you don't have to worry about that right now.
Oh, because I did test it and it did generate one.
It sent you the generic thank you?
Yes, it certainly did.
Oh. Maybe they've got it working then. I know that's kind of in beta test, so maybe they got it up and running. So let's look at this really quick. So the campaign, the Infusionsoft campaign, you're automatically kicking them into the email list AI nurture.
Yes, sir.
So if somebody gets, so then we would go look at your AI nurture campaign here.
Correct.
And if somebody opts in and gets tagged with AI nurture, which is here, they would automatically get kicked into these emails. Is what you're saying? Is what they should get. You've got an automatic. So you instead you had a form that sent them an automatic thank you.
What happened on the front end is that when I tested it and I went through the lead digit, I exactly what you're showing right now under there, the thank you under that 413 ID came forward, the thank you, of which I edited it because it actually had aging parents.
This one?
Yes. And I changed it to aging investor. And
okay.
I also changed the design and put a different logo on it. But
okay.
That's what it was kicking it out.
Okay. So yeah, so then you just tweak that to also have to let them know they'll be getting, you want to let them know they're going to be getting more emails.
Okay.
That's all. And then I was going to show you the campaign we built. So that's all set up. You're all good with that with lead pages then. You're in good shape.
Okay.
But I like to offer that opportunity to log into just so they feel like they've opted in. Even if it's going to tag them the same way. So if they click on that link anyway and opt in, they're still going to get the exact same tag and they're not going to hurt themselves. And have them noted as having chosen to opt in, which works even better.
Got it.
So here's the one that we were doing. This is just so everybody knows. Dr. Mikkel and I were working on he's got a series of CEUs that people get access to. And that's the CEU delivery campaign. He works with aging investors. He helps educate the person managing the money for the aging investor on how to make sure they basically their butts are covered properly and what they need to know. And as they're getting trained through CEUs, which every investor needs anyway, afterwards we have 3 possible programs that we're going to sell them into. So either they complete all the CEUs or they've completed one and didn't buy any of the new ones. They're going to get kicked into this campaign where for 8 emails, they're going to get sold a book they have on aging investing. And so we did the model, which is one of my favorite webinar approaches. And this also can work in emails. If you're like, I don't know what to do in emails or nurture or anything like that. Let's say you have a white paper that has, like, for example, his book has 6 chapters. Out of that, you actually have 8 pieces of content. He could have a blog post. He could pull that 6 chapters into 8. And the way to do that is you have the one overview email, and then each of the pieces, or for him, the 6 chapters, he's got an individual email that kind of gives an overview of each of the chapters. And then the last one is a summary of those chapters. So this is an easy way to take anything that you might have, the 5 steps, the 3 lessons, the whatever it is. You have content for 2 more whatevers beyond what the number of bullets you have. So if you have the 3 lessons you need to learn, you actually have 5 pieces of content because you have the intro and the overview, like the final overview. Summary. I'll even change this one to summary because that makes more sense. And so it's a lesson for people that can be very beneficial for them. But as you can see in here, everything's in here. I haven't done anything with the emails themselves because you usually do the writing yourself. You can go in and you could use a template, and everybody can kind of see how this is. And I don't even know if we have an aging investors template built. Doesn't look like it. Let me just check. That's aging parents. Aging parents. Yeah, so there's not a template built for aging investors, but this is basically the generic version of how all of their emails look anyway. He could also go in to create the email. He could copy from a campaign, and we could go into, let's say, the CEU campaign and pull any of these emails. Let's just do book videos. Huh. Oh, because they're not published. That's why they're not showing. But so he can, you can go in and edit these emails any way you want. You know how to do this, Dr. Miko.
Mm-hmm.
So, but they're all set. The structure of it, and I'll explain what I did for everybody so they can see as an educational piece. They get tagged as post-CEU upsell. And so they know that either they finished all their CEUs or they stopped buying them, so they get tagged. And in the CEU campaign, we have it triggered that after X number of days, if they haven't bought anything new, they get kicked into here. Then they get sent these 8 emails. Now, if they purchase the book, this set of emails stops. You can see this flag here. This flag means stops immediately. So if they purchase the book, this set of emails, because you no longer need to sell them on the book because they bought it. It's a nice little simple thing that you don't have to worry about anymore. So once they bought it, they bought it. So they automatically stop getting the emails. If they don't buy the book, it then kicks them into this series of emails. And this is where he's also got policy, like a kind of a template for how to create your policies they need. And that template has 10 parts into it. So therefore, he's got a 12 email series, 1 overview, 1 for each of the 10 parts, and then 1 summary. And these go out over time. If they buy the policy, these emails stop. If they don't, they go through all 12 emails and then get kicked into the consult emails. And then I should actually put in here, and we just didn't have the product built yet. But once that product's built, we would put in another goal here, which is purchases a product. And this is buys consult, just so people can see how I'm doing this. And I would link this to here and then link this back down to here. Because the idea is if they buy the consult reminder emails goes away. And they, no matter what happens, no matter if they just buy the book, just buy policy, buy all 3, whatever it is, eventually they're going to get kicked into nurture. And the way I did that was I just said after all that's done, they get the nurture tag applied. So even after all of this, they bought everything, they're still getting regular emails in case Dr. Meikle rolls out a brand new product that he wants to offer people. He can then offer it inside the nurture sequence, and he can do yet more upsells. But right now, we've got a nice, simple, clean path from advertising, which drives them into CEUs. They buy all the CEUs, and we created a very complex campaign so that they only get offered the next CEUs that they haven't already used. After that, they get kicked into these post-CEU upsells. Just like I was talking about here in the lifecycle marketing, he's attracting folks, and he's got a really nice LinkedIn following. So he's going to start posting about everything in LinkedIn, attracting people to his information. They're going to opt in for learning more about CEUs. They're going to get sold the CEUs, buy the CEUs, and then in the wow, it talks about offering more. That campaign we just showed is the offering more. This is where he's going to be offering a lot more of those upsells. We could at some point in there add here's how to become a referral for aging investor and let other people get the same benefits you've gotten. That's a next level project for him. Right now, we wanted to get everything up to offer more done. And so this is our next part, is to figure out, we've talked about who his ideal target customer is. We know how he's going to attract interest through posts inside of LinkedIn and blogging and things like that. We've got lead page opt-ins to collect leads. He's got a nurture sequence and some good sales page to educate them and to offer. Once they buy, they go through the delivering in WoW, so they're getting the CEU and more CEUs and more CEUs, which are more offers. So basically, of these 9 steps in here, 8 of them are all designed for him. The only thing we'd have to talk about is referral. So that gives everybody a little bit of an overview of a really well done system. And Dr. Meikle had a lot of this in place. I just helped him kind of connect all these pieces together. But this is the idea of what people want to be doing. This is the way you want to approach it. So, Dr. Meikle, any questions on what I kind of built for you? Does that match what we discussed 2 days ago?
No, it does make sense. And the only thing that I was trying to figure out more of is the interface of how you tag and bring people in and out of various campaigns to interlink them, and at what point you do that and how you do that.
Okay, so I'll go back in here because I think that might. Let me reopen that. So this is to show you kind of how that's set up. So let me go ahead and share the page screen. This is your campaign again. All right, and I'll present to everyone so everyone sees it. So this is that campaign again. So what's happening is the first one here is a tag, and I haven't put this in, but let's say I don't remember if I called it post CEU. AI. CEU. So these are all the CEU tags. I don't know if I made one for post CEU. So we would make one that's post CEU. I just haven't created that tag for you yet. But then after that, the book purchase, because you already set up the products, those tags happen automatically. And it doesn't even matter about tagging. This is, if they buy that thing, this campaign stops. So it's only one tag here that matters, just like, and I'll go back to this campaign, just like the CEU delivery. And I'll show this campaign because it's going to take a minute to load, so just be patient with me, everybody, because this is a fairly complicated campaign. It's got a lot of tags and things in it. So while that's loading, we'll go back to lead pages and kind of show another example. So we have a CEU choices. So if somebody goes to this page, and I'll just open it up so everybody can see, and we're split testing it, but if somebody comes in here and they want the CEU, we've set it up so this is what we mean when we're looking at capture or collect leads. This is what we have going on this page. We're getting the person's name and email, and they're saying which one of the 6 CEUs is most interesting to them. And so let's say they wanted prevent financial elder abuse. They would fill this out, get started. That would tag them as elder abuse, like AI CEU elder abuse interest. Because then we, just like in here where it's educating them. Here's what that CEU is all about. And from that education page, it gives them the offer to buy that CEU. When they buy that CEU, it's closed. We have it so it's a product. So that takes the money. That's what we mean by close. Money, it changes hands. And then it automatically kicks them into the series of delivering it. So here at Educate, so collecting the leads says they're interested in that CEU. So that's one tag. After they buy, it says that they were like AI, CEU, elder abuse purchased. And that then kicks them into here. So we're segmenting them between if they're interested in it versus if they've actually purchased it. And once they've purchased it, they stop getting reminders about if they were interested in it. So those triggers automatically kick them to move into the new pieces. And you don't worry about how complex this is, but it's pretty simple. Here's the idea that they said they were interested in, they got tagged as being interested in the abuse interest. So they get a series of emails that show them and sell them into buying the product. When they buy that product, they get kicked into how it gets delivered. And then after that's been delivered and they've finished the CEU, then, let's see if I can get this to move up some. There we go. Then they get then because of this decision diamond, they basically get sent another one of these kind of form questions. But instead of it having 6 here, it only has the 5 of the remaining, and they don't see elder abuse anymore because they've already purchased it. So that's, now they have a choice of 5 more. Let's say they decided they wanted what we'll call it diminished, DC is diminished capacity. So let's say they're interested in diminished capacity, so they get the emails selling them into diminished capacity. They buy it, they get it delivered, and then it kicks them into the next set of emails where they get to decide the next thing they want. And then, so now, since they've already bought elder abuse and diminished capacity, they can choose between these four, and that's all done by tags of interest, and sale, and then these decision diamonds. And I'll show one so people can see to get an understanding of how that kind of works. They can only get sent these certain things if they already have purchased diminished capacity, purchased elder abused, and purchased senior specific. Then they can go to the next series of emails. So it's automatically deciding. It decides for us which ones they get to see and which ones they don't. So the tagging and your tagging structure matters. So you want to make sure that you are distinguishing between interest and sales. Is this helping you, Dr. Meikle?
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's done all the way throughout. And then let's say they don't want to buy it. And I'll go back into CEU delivery. And this is a piece, we haven't linked it yet because we just built that other campaign and there was no point in building the link yet until the campaign was built. But now that campaign's built, we're going to create another thing that if they bought one and they don't buy any more, if they buy two and don't buy any more, if they buy 5 and they don't buy any more, it doesn't matter how many, they'll, after a certain time, if they haven't taken action to buy the next step, they're going to automatically get kicked into a campaign that then takes them into that upsell page. And I'm going to not wait for this one to load because it's just such a huge campaign. It takes forever to load. But it kicks them into that upsell one that we talked about. And so this is, so here, now you can see it. But so it's elaborate. But down here, and let's see if I did kick myself out. But then it kicks them automatically into here where we have the 3 other upsells, where it's upselling them on the book unless they buy it. It's upselling them on the policy unless they buy it. And it's upselling them on the consult unless they buy it. So they're constantly getting sold new things, which once again in here, now we're talking about the delivering really good products and offering more. That's what this campaign does, which then kicks them in and eventually kicks them into nurture just so that they stay in touch with you and what you do. Is that what you were looking for, Dr. Mabel?
Yep.
So that's the idea. This is what we want people to get. You've got to, and that's why doing this document of your plan of the lifecycle marketing planner, you really need to map out not just who you're looking to recruit, but you got to understand, like we talked about this and in our conversation earlier in the week, we realized that the products that Dr. Meikle offers are going to sell better to people who realize that they could be in trouble if they don't do the stuff he wants. They're not going to do it out of kindness for their clients. They're going to do it out of self-preservation. And so that means his ideal clients are people who need self-preservation, which means these first stages, and I'll go back into sharing my screen with everybody, and we'll go over to this thing. So when we're looking at this, his ideal target isn't people who care a lot about their clients. It's people who don't want to get themselves in trouble. And so the way he's going to attract that interest is writing more blogs, writing articles, things like that, that talk about why they need to preserve their own well-being, and combining that with a bunch of posts that talk about the fact that you need CEUs, we've got them, it's going to help you. That's the attracting the interest. They go to the right place to collect the leads, and then he's educating them on why they need a CEU, why it's going to protect their butts, why it's going to help in that self-preservation chunk, which is an irresistible offer to them, because if they don't, and because as he and I talked about some of the things coming down the pipeline, if they don't do this, they could be in serious trouble, which is then going to lead to them buying it, which then lets us go through and deliver wow and offer more. So it's knowing what works and doesn't work, what his people want and don't want, allowed us to build these steps out properly. If we had gone in and said we want to do everything from the perspective of like protecting your clients, we might have focused in on our first offer being a white paper on how to protect your clients instead of the CEU, because the CEU doesn't benefit the client. The CEU benefits the person doing the investing, the investment manager. But what we realized is the investment manager is trying to cover their own butt. So we've got to give stuff, we've got to offer products to the investment manager that is what they want. Therefore, our target audience, how we're attracting them, what we're using to collect the leads, what we're educating them on is very different because we recognized our target audience and the pain they have that we're trying to solve is different. That's the reason why you need to really understand and think this whole process through, because there's no point in me developing this offer more sequence that we just did if we didn't know what the first offer was. So that's why this is so important, because this might have, instead of being the book, this might have been where we were selling the CEUs, and what led to this might have been white papers. So it's all of those things of knowing all 9 steps of this before you start building this stuff out that's going to be more efficient. We were lucky in that Dr. Meikle already had white papers, CEUs, and everything already built. We just have to figure out how to piece them together in the most appropriate manner to address his clients and his clients' like life cycle. Now that we have that clarity, we adjusted it so they connect and flow together in the right manner. So that's what we wanted to do. So that's any other questions on that, Dr. Meikle?
No, all good.
Awesome. So that's what I wanted to people. I'm glad. I think this is going to turn out to be actually a really good educational training for everybody. Like I said, to anybody who watches this later, watches the replays, whatever it might be, know that I'm going to chop out the first 30 minutes. There's a bunch of time of me just talking, and it's a hold up. I can trim that because we're doing this as a Google Hangout. So as soon as we're done in here, I'll trim that out so you guys have a more efficient video. But we're going to have a nice, clean video. You guys can learn a lot from the structure that we've built for Dr. Meikle, understanding in conjunction with the document that you guys can download. It'll make a lot of sense to you guys. Any other questions, Dr. Meikle, before we kind of wrap up for tonight?
No, that's very, very helpful. And I'm glad that we've actually discovered that perhaps Lead Pages has moved beyond beta, and it may, in fact, interface automatically now with Infusionsoft.
Which would be fantastic. Yeah.
I'll test that out. I think we need to test it out more to see whether or not there's any kind of duplication of emails that are being generated between Lead Pages and Infusionsoft, because I think that would be a real turnoff if they get an immediate barrage of too many emails.
Yeah, exactly. And so, yeah, there may be that's stuff to decide. And part of that is the thank you page inside of the inside Infusionsoft. And so that could be that you just make that thank you page something very different than the thank you page that Lead Pages sends out. These lead digits, and this is, like I said, this is an external product that you guys, it isn't part of Infusionsoft, but it's a product I use as well and I happen to like. But I just want to show inside lead digits. This is the idea of, if you're Dr. Meikle and his wife do a lot of presentations from stage. And so the reason why they were talking about this is if they're up on stage, instead of giving somebody like, when you get home, go to this really long URL to get this information. If he could just say, text get CEU to 33444, everyone's got their phones available. They can do it while they're sitting in the room. They automatically get stuff delivered. It automatically starts delivering them the nurture sequence we want them to get delivered, et cetera, et cetera. It all works out really, really well. That's why this is such a great little tool. And if they've got it so it also kicks them into the campaign you want them kicked into, which is what they were working on, then you've got a really game changer for anybody who's out there doing presentations where you're speaking, where people may not have access to the internet, but do have access to their phones to send a quick text. It's very effective. So, all right. If you don't have any other questions, Dr. Meikle, I'm going to probably wrap up for today. I think this is actually a really good little bit. You've got a campaign to start putting emails in, which is great. Well, that's all set to go.
Great. Okay. I thank you very much, Sean. Thanks for showing up.
Yeah, thanks.
I appreciate it. Anytime. All right. See you later, man. Bye-bye.
Cheers, man. All right, folks. So we're out of here. Have a fabulous week. Cheers.